Welcome back to Virginia This Morning. By now, we've all heard that the pandemic has affected many of our core relationships. Our next guests say marriages and relationships can be saved and not fall victim to divorce. Take a look.
He is a world-renowned speaker and motivational coach who elevates and inspires people to achieve great success, and not limited to business either. We're also talking about love and marriage. Today, he joins us with his wife, Dee, to talk about the COVID divorce and how to keep it from happening to you. We welcome our great friends of the show, Dee and Dr. Willie Jolley, back to Virginia this morning. And I see you brought the boss along with you there, Willie, so thank you for doing that.
I'm a smart man. Good morning, Bill. It's good to be back on with you. And greetings to everybody in Richmond, Virginia, almost our second home when we're away from D.C.
I'm from Hampton.
Thank you very much. And so, Dee, we're going to start, and since you're in with us here, and Willie, let's talk about what really are the common things, the common issues that couples are dealing with that they wouldn't have had to deal with because of the pandemic.
Yeah, we've seen a rise in divorce, a rise in anxiety, a rise in separation as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and being locked down. Because see, what was happening before was people would get up in the morning, they'd see each other for maybe an hour, and then they'd go off for 8 hours or 9 hours, whatever they'd work there.
So they'd have a break. They'd have an emotional as well as a mental break because they were able to do other things and be away from their partners. But now that we are still locked down, they're discovering, I don't really know this person like I thought I knew them. And now we're together 24/7. And you know what? I don't like some of their habits. And I've discovered they're really not my friend. What on earth am I going to do?
And what we see was little things that used to bother people. They could just, pass off. Well, they just let it go because it was little stuff. It was like a little stress fracture in your foot. Now that stress fracture has become a chasm, and people are not able to figure out how to get past it, so the divorce rate has gone up. But what we want to do is, many people know we wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets for Shaping a Great Marriage. We've been married for 36 years, haven't had an argument in over 33 years. Now, someone asked in an interview, you've never had an argument? No. We haven't had an argument in 33 years. Those first couple of years were like World War III.
After the Chinese food argument, we figured we needed to figure out something else to do.
It was a big argument over Chinese food. We don't have time to go and get the book. You hear about that. But here's the thing. What we wanted to tell people was we learned some principles from some wise mentors that got us from arguing to loving. We haven't had any more arguments. We've gone on and had success.
But it doesn't mean we don't disagree.
That's
because
correct.
We work together as well as we are a married couple.
That's
so
right.
That has its own challenges.
So what we've learned in that process is after we learned the principle, we put them in the book took off, and we had a number of people around the world who were on their way to divorce court. They were on their way to divorce court, and they contacted us and said, we're going to get a divorce. We say, hell, get 2 copies of the book, one for each of you. Just go through the principles. At the end of each chapter, just read them and talk about them, and let's see what happened. And we've had so many, we've had nobody who's come back and said, hey, we going on with our divorce. All of them have said the same thing who have contacted us. We learned principles and ways to get through this. So what we want to say to people who are going through stress, strife, anxiety in their marriage, there are some solutions. There are some ways.
First thing we would suggest in terms of preventing this divorce, you need to be with your best friend. It's like, oh my God, they're not my best friend. What am I going to do now? Number one, you can befriend your spouse. They're like, this is unusual. A great way to calm down the relationship because you really don't know each other.
That's right. Friends first, chapter number 1.
All right.
And you have to want to do it.
Yeah,
go ahead,
let's talk about some of the things, the big boulders, not Chinese food, not Chinese food, but the big issues that are causing people to break up.
Big boulders for breaking up marriages. 3 big boulders: sex, money,
Communication.
Those three. And of the three, communication is the most powerful and the biggest because it drives. If you have great communication, it improves your love life. If you have great communication, it improves your finances.
So that's the common thread through everything is your communication. And communication is not just the spoken word. It is the touching,
The
it is
nonverbals.
the closeness,
That's
it
right.
is the eye contact, it is how you interact with and other than words.
So what we want to do is, first thing we want to do is give everybody a free chapter of the book, which is the biggest chapter, which is on communication. Because we wrote the book to save marriages and enhance marriages. We give that chapter away to everybody. Go to jollymarriage.com or just go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com, hit the icon that says Jolly Marriage, and it'll take you to that site and you can get a free chapter. So communication is critical, but the other two are critical too. They're big: sex and money. And we have a chapter in the book called chapter number 8 is one of our most popular is love. It is about sex, lies, and other sex headaches and other lies. Sex headaches and other lies. And what we got with that is a lady we interviewed said her mama told her on her wedding day, don't ever tell that lie that you got a headache. Because when you tell that lie you got a headache, remember there's a woman somewhere with an aspirin in her pocketbook. So we talk about sex and the fact that men and women see sex differently. Intimacy versus sex. And knowing the difference makes a big difference.
Now, you can have intimacy and it can get to sex, but because you have sex does not mean you have intimacy. So what do I need?
As a woman.
I need intimacy, time, attention, touching, closeness that leads to sex.
You two are so much fun. We got to have you back for like a half a show.
We got 10 chapters. We can come back anytime and tell you how to do it. Go to winwithwillie.com. Click the Jolly Marriage icon, get the free chapter, and then you can order the book or order the bundle of books and the workbook and all that. We want to save marriage.
And follow us on social media.
And social media. And every Monday night we do on Facebook Live, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast. Yes. So look, if you invested in your marriage, invest in staying together.
Yes.
Thank you both very much. This was so much fun. I can see why you made it. Nice talking to you both. For more information, we're going to post a link on our show website by later today, WTVR.com/VTM.
Perhaps we should have put a little warning at the head end of that one that was sort of a buckle your seatbelts because this ride's going to get a little quick.
Yep. I love that.
Willie
was
Jolley,
fun. And also,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's rare that you just see Bill sort of just sit back and let them take the conversation. But you know what? They had so much wisdom to impart on all of us that I think Bill was like, we're just going to let them talk and share their knowledge. So that was a fun conversation.
Yeah, he definitely, you're right, Evan. Bill definitely got tickled. And I know when we've had Willie Jolley in on the show before, that is definitely the universal response. You just are, in awe and you're tickled and kind of everything that they have to share. But what I really noticed with the Jolleys was the sense of fun, the sense that they do genuinely enjoy spending time together. And so I think there's a lot to be able to share from that. This it's an understatement to say that this past year has created so many challenges, and it's very true and very right. Our life box was just shaken up, and everything landed in a different way. So it's been a lot to sort through.
It has. And I agree. That's what stood out to me too, is just the lightheartedness and just enjoying each other's company. We're spending a lot more time together, but you can find those things that you like in your spouse or your partner and try to latch on to that. So that was fun to see. And, you can see why they've lasted for 36 years.
I know it really is incredible. And they do, as you said, Bill got tickled and you kind of just sit back and listen to what's going to come out next. I remember Willie had shared the tidbit about the aspirin in the pocketbook before. And I think the universal response is kind of like, But
that's what our faces did. We were both like, oh, did he just say, he said that?
He said that. But all smiles and kidding aside, when that life box did kind of settle back down and maybe came down in a different position, friends watching this today, it might not be as easy to redirect and find that sense of camaraderie. So what you do, I would say, is find the resources to help you navigate through all of this, because it is incredibly challenging. It is not easy, even in the best of circumstances. And yeah, these circumstances have been challenging.
That's true. The resources are out there. Well,
True.
Our
Great
friends,
conversation.
Yeah, our friends at Sports Backers want you to know about the YMCA 10K training team that can help you get ready to participate in the 2021 UCrops Monument Avenue 10K, which is coming up in June.
That's right. It is on the calendar, so be sure to put this on your calendar. For more information, visit sportsbackers.org to beat the April 12th deadline. We'll be back in just 2.5 minutes. We're going to reveal a weight loss transformation that you really do have to see to believe.